Hey guys, welcome back. This is the Wizard Sports Lair episode number 3. I'm your host, as always, Scott the Steamroller Steen, and we're not only joined by our usual cast of characters, but I know some of you are out there and like, the Wizard. There's no such person as the Wizard. Au contraire, my friend, we have the Wizard with us tonight. We have pulled back the curtain. He's going to be here. He's going to talk a little football with us, and then he's going to talk what is his specialty, and we're going to talk about horse racing, in particular, the Pegasus. So stay tuned for that. But first, let's meet our esteemed panel real quick. As always, coming direct for you from the fanciest closet in all of Las Vegas, it is Wes, the Sniper. I screwed that up. It's Sniper Wes. God, you had 2 names. You think I wouldn't screw it up? What's going on, buddy?
Yeah, you know what? I am still in the closet. That is literally, not figuratively. Yeah, I'm here in Vegas. We have this running joke, Wiz, that I'm actually, my whole podcast station is here in my closet because it's just nice and quiet. I can come in here. I'm not bugged. It's actually the perfect setup. My desk fits right here. So the running joke is,
do you have clothes in that closet?
I do. They're all right here. You can't even see them.
Hey, this is the only I've worn this 4 straight days, and I also wore it to the DRF meeting today.
There you go.
So I got 100 pairs of clothes, and I used 2.
Very nice. Yeah, Wes has 6 Dodger T-shirts and 3 hats, and that's pretty nice. I'm not convinced he's wearing pants. And speaking of somewhere we got to wear pants, man, it is Philly. It is wintertime, but he's nice and toasty. He's got his own collection of hats there. Let's meet Tom Macrina, a.k.a. Rye Cape. What up, Mr. Cape?
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, hopefully I get hotter than this weather is here. We're expecting a snowstorm coming up, so that should be fun. But yeah, we have a fun weekend this weekend. PGA Tour. We got our second tournament of the season, and then UFC has a big pay-per-view this weekend as well. So a lot going on. I'm going to be
technically a pay-per-view, or is this going to be the first one on Paramount, right?
Yes, correct.
So it's not really a pay-per-view. It's get Paramount to view.
It's a pay-per-view. Yeah. It's numbered.
You can
it's not pay. Well, so no, all you need is Paramount Plus now. So basically, if you spend the $14, whatever it is, for Paramount Plus, then you no longer need to spend the $70 for pay-per-view for UFC anymore. So, and I already have Paramount Plus because I love Landman and Tulsa King and all those shows anyway. So it's kind of an added bonus for me.
Isn't this going to bring a lot of exposure to the sport? A lot more?
I would certainly think so. I really would. I think it's a great move to make it more accessible to everybody on their part,
and more betting money, right?
Mm-hmm.
To the pool.
I mean, Paramount Paramount CBS. They only paid Dana White $8 billion for the deal, so I'm sure he's like, okay, sure.
Is that a real number? Or are you just pulling wild?
No, it's it was $8 billion.
Well, I knew it had to be substantial to steal it from ESPN. So yeah, very good. And in my bottom right-hand corner is somebody you may not recognize him without him being surrounded by his automobile. He does have a home, which we're all happy about. It looks like it's not even a closet. So say hello to David Delano, the pride of Houston, Texas. What's up, buddy?
Hey, man, what's going on? Excited coming to an end with football, but excited to talk about these games and everything else. And great to go ahead and chat with the Wizard and get educated a little bit about some more.
And I'll vouch for the fact that I've never seen you not inside a car.
Yeah, there you go.
First time
I saw you was not in a car, but hey, it's all right.
He does own a home,
and your beard is nice and groomed too.
Thank you.
Very nice. Yeah,
he's spiffy.
It's good to see David with power and lights. I don't know how long that's going to last once that ice storm gets there. Now, what's the latest, buddy? Is it going to hit you guys or not?
You know how that goes.
We'll
see. I mean, it may not. You never. So a lot of times I thought it would, nothing happened, but not what I'll get into it. Last time everyone in the area didn't have power, I still had it. So we'll see.
La-di-da. All right, very good. And the Wizard, where are you located right now? What geographical area of the country?
I'm in Connecticut.
There you go.
And there will be no horse racing on Sunday here. So my horse that's being entered on Sunday is going to have to run on Wednesday because it's going to be below 0 here in Connecticut and a foot of snow. So I have to scrub. My horse will be entered. We'll run on Wednesday, not Sunday.
You need one of those horses that's like a quarter husky to run through the snow like that.
Exactly.
Very good. So and it's It's great to be here. You guys can catch us. We post this every Wednesday evening. It goes up. Make sure you check the Wizards Sports YouTube channel. And while you're there, get over to Wizard Sports Picks and pick yourself up some premium plays. We got plays all over the place. I know some of these guys are hotter than a $2 pistol. We've got not just NFL picks, NHL, college basketball, NBA, UFC, horse racing, of course. So, of course. So whatever you're looking for in the way of picks, get yourself over there to Wizard Sports Picks and check it out. All right. So, we're going to break out the crystal ball. This is a little segment we call the crystal ball breakdown. We're going to start with the NFL games, a doubleheader this weekend. And I say it was a kind of a fun week of football last week, as we saw the number one seeds win. One of them had a little more trouble than the other, but now they're both playing at home for the championship. And the first game on that slate is going to be the Patriots at the Broncos. Patriots minus 5.5 is the spread there. And the total, the last I saw it is on DraftKings right now at 42.5 with slight juice to the under. Tom, these two teams took very different routes to get here, and one of the teams is going to be without their starting quarterback. Is 5.5 too many, or is that about right?
I think it is kind of too many. I understand that Denver has the backup quarterback, but the biggest thing we have to look at here is that Denver has been winning with defense, not so much with Bo Nix. I think Stidham is going to have the same similar scheme to what Bo Nix was. Obviously, he doesn't have the mobility that Bo Nix does, but I think this is going to be a closer game than the 5 suggests. I think Denver has a good shot at winning this one.
All right, very good. So you're going to not only take the points, are you going to step out there to take Denver at plus 210?
Yeah, I'll put it on the money line too.
Okay. Yeah, and there is some Denver money coming in because currently on DraftKings at 5.5. You want to grab the Broncos, it's juiced to minus 120. So don't be surprised to see that number drop down in the 5 range. And Wes, we're kind of in that dead zone between 3.5 and 6 when we do see a fair amount of line movement. There's not the key numbers there that's hard to push off. How are you feeling about this one? You think the Patriots have the horses to get it done, or are you gonna back the Broncos with Stidham?
You know, it's kind of funny. Some odds makers, so you have to determine how many points Bo Nix is worth versus Stidham, right? And a lot of odds makers that I don't necessarily talk to them, but I hear from them. They think he's 3.5 to 4 points better than Stidham, which means if you just subtract the 4.5, we have a pick'em game, right? If Bo Nix is actually playing here. I'm kind of looking at the over, to be honest with you. I haven't made up my mind exactly what I'm going to do here yet. But if you remember, Sean Payton, I do not think he's going to change the game plan, even though Bo Nix is more mobile, right? Stidham is obviously more of a pocket passer. I get that. But Sean Payton's still going to gun. I mean, they're going to throw the ball. Don't think that they're just going to run the ball. That's all they're going to do. Stidham, the team loves Stidham from the podcast I listen to. He's very popular in the locker room, so they want him to do well. Next man up mentality. I mean, the Patriots, they scored 28 points per game too, 372 yards per game. They didn't have any trouble moving the ball versus the Texans, who have a fantastic defense as well. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm looking at the over. I might settle it. And it opened, I believe, at 40.5. It's already at 42. So sharp money is probably on the over.
Right.
So that's kind of where I'm looking at the total. I haven't made up my mind yet, but those are my thoughts.
Okay, very good. Dave, we hear a lot about this Denver defense. But if you look at the numbers, you find out, guess who gave up fewer points than Denver did? It's the New England Patriots, and we don't hear much about that. Is that going to be enough to get the Patriots home and to get them the cover in this one?
Yeah, I mean, Denver was excellent at home this year, 8-1 straight up, but this Patriots team, 8-0 on the road. And the NFL could not, there's no way that the NFL wants the Broncos in the Super Bowl. I mean, it's Stidham going up against the Seahawks or the Rams, probably a blowout. You got a great story with the Patriots, Drake May, the franchise bouncing back. You got Stephon Diggs, Cardi B angle. Cardi B did a song with Bad Bunny performing. There's everything lines up for the Patriots here. I don't think that is too many points. The Patriots capitalized off of some terrible quarterback play from CJ Stroud, and they may like Stidham and everything, but he hasn't thrown a pass in a regular season game in the last 2 seasons. So anyone who's saying how many points is it worth, we're all kind of speculating. And I know Wes is saying the Broncos are still going to throw the ball. They probably will, and I don't think that that's going to bode well for them. I know it's a lot of points, but losing your quarterback at this time, and Stidham's not someone who's really been in the meaningful situations and hasn't, like I said, made a regular season throw in the last 2 seasons. So it's 5.5, but I'm laying it with the Patriots.
Yeah, and you talked about the Patriots being 8-0 on the road, and more importantly for our purposes, they're 7-1 ATS on the road. So they not only win, they cover. Denver just 6-4 against the spread at home. So and as far as Stidham goes, he's made 4 starts in 6 seasons. He's 1-3, 8 TDs, 8 picks, and like David talked about, hasn't made a start in over 2 years. The Wizard, how do you see this one?
Well, sometimes it's the bet that matters more than the pick. So what I'm saying by that is, I watch every football and every NFL game. I mean, the only 2 sports I follow are NFL and NCAA basketball. So I think, and I'm not a big teaser player, but I think this is an interesting teaser play because I have an opinion on the other game.
Okay.
This game, now I'm very creative, out of the box thinker when I bet. And I think this is a great opportunity. Where I play, I get a 6-point teaser for 110. A lot of times it's 6 points and for 132.
Right.
You got to shop around for the teaser price, but I get 6 points, 110. So the way I would bet this game, this side on the first part of the teaser, is I think New England wins the game. But so I would get New England pick 'em, right? 5.5 down to pick 'em. But I also think Denver is great value at plus 11.5. Now I know 11.5 is a dead number. It's 11.5. They might as well make it 10.5 or 12.5. But I think that range from pick 'em to 11.5, playing both. So I'm playing in the Seattle game, but the way I played it, I already bet it, is I took both sides with New England pick 'em and the Broncos plus 11.5, because I like that range for this game. Denver's home, altitude, Sean Payton. I think they're going to Stidham's going to throw the ball down the field. He's a down the field quarterback.
Right.
Payton he works so well with a quarterback. With any quarterback, he develops them. The guy's been around for 3 years. He knows the system. He's maybe for one game. I'm not expecting them, maybe they don't win this game. They're probably not going to win the Super Bowl, but it's Denver's home. And that's how I don't have opinion on the side either way. I don't have an opinion on the total because it's tricky. It's just a tricky game.
Right.
But I like that middle as the backbone of a teaser on the Seattle game as my main play.
Very good.
That's how I see that.
Fantastic. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say you could watch 100 videos about these 2 games from all different sites around the world, and you are not going to find one that also that offers you an opportunity on middling a 6-point teaser and also mentions the Cardi B angle. So
betting is all about creativity.
That's right.
I wouldn't make this bet 100 times. I might make it once. But it's logical. There's logic in my mind, right? Because I'm going to take a shot, because if I'm right with my pick with the Seattle Ram game, right, which I'm going to bet aside and use it as the linchpin of these 2 teasers. If I'm right with my main play, I'm only going to lose the juice on the teaser.
Right.
I'm going to win one of those sides on the teaser,
Yep.
but I have an opportunity to middle the teaser. And I mean, you're right. What guy's crazy enough to come on and talk about a bet like this? It's 1 out of 100 that I'm going to play this bet, but this is the one time on your show that I'm happy to make that bet. And I tell you the reasons why.
That's fantastic. They don't call him the wizard for nothing, folks. And by the way, if you didn't see last week's video, when we talked about our tip of the week was all about arbitrage and middling. This is an example that we didn't even bring up that is saying that basically it's going to be a New England victory, but a close final score. And that'll get you there, obviously, on both sides of the teasers. Very nice, Wiz. Very nice. Outside. And there's the box, and here's the wizard over here. So, yeah, outside the box for sure. All right,
you know what's great about teasers, and it's very possible that Wiz can win both those bets. It just falls right on the odds maker's number.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
And then he wins both, right? But it's kind of funny with bookmakers and everything. Their goal is to set the right line. They want to come as close to that line as possible. But if they do that, the public wins every teaser that they place. You know what I mean? So
well, it all comes, and I'm sure you guys know this. They basically what they call wonged proof teaser now, because you used to play the Wong teaser where you take that 6 points, but now you see a lot more 5.5s and things like that. And of course, what's the cardinal rule when playing teasers is you don't cross a zero with your number. So they've made, you'll see a lot more 5.5s than you used to see 10, 12 years ago. That's my theory. You see a lot of numbers where the 6 points really doesn't have the same effect that it did at one point.
Instead of 7.5, getting 7.5, they'll make it 7, but juice you. They'll
Absolutely.
make it, so they'll juice the price to manipulate the actual point spread on a teaser.
Yep.
There's a lot of tricks to their trade.
Absolutely correct.
And you got to be very careful. They call it a teaser for a reason.
Yeah.
It's right in the name. It's right in the name.
Yep. And you really got to be careful and selective. I really strategize if I'm playing a teaser.
Yeah, it's a lot more. It's a shorter and more accurate than calling it. Oh, I bet you thought you were going to win bet, which is kind of what a teaser can certainly be sometimes. All right, so let's move on to the West Coast, and this is kind of weird. We do have two Western teams. We got a Mountain Time and we got a Pacific Time. So this Denver game, don't forget, it's going to be a little bit earlier than they're used to playing. Now, will it have a huge effect? I doubt it, but it's it's not like Hawaii going to Connecticut or something like that, where you're losing 6 hours or whatever. But it's certainly something that to keep in the back of your mind. So let's talk about two teams that are used to playing in the Western time zone, the Pacific time zone, if you will. It is the Los Angeles Rams, and they will be visiting, of course, the Seattle Seahawks. Rams, they have struggled with both games in the playoffs. It was a struggle to get past Carolina in Carolina. And, of course, the Bears took them to overtime before Caleb Williams became Caleb Williams once again and threw the pick as the Bears were driving for the win. So, Tom, are the Rams living on borrowed time, or have they just been screwing around waiting for this game?
I don't know, because really, obviously these teams both play in the West, so they played each other twice. Both of these games before were pretty crazy. The one was where Sam Darnold threw 4 picks, and Seattle still almost had a chance to win. The second time they played, the Rams were rolling, and Seattle came and they won that one in overtime. So, yeah, I think I love this Seattle team. I think they ultimately win the Super Bowl. But I do think the Rams being in the same division, knowing how this team plays, what they see, and I'm sure McVay is going to have a good scheme here. I think the Rams keep it close enough within the number. I like the under here too.
Okay. And by the way, the numbers on this one, Seattle by 2.5, and with a slight juice towards the Hawks, and the total on this is 46.5 with slight juice towards the over. So there you go. In those two games that you were talking about, Tom, that they played over earlier this season, One of them landed 40, and the other one landed 75. So, yeah, there you go. That's if you can spot a trend there, God bless you. Wes, how do you see this one?
The Rams arguably should have won both games. They imploded in that Thursday night game, the 38-37 overtime win. They would have if Sam Darnold didn't get that 2-point conversion. But I'm a little worried about Darnold here. So obviously, they blew out the Niners. I get it, but he threw for 124 yards in that game. He kind of Trent Dilfer'd it, right? He needed to do enough not to screw stuff up, and the defense and the special teams, they did the rest. Right. But if you remember, he was on the Vikings last year, and they had that game against these very Rams in Arizona due to the California fires. He was terrible. He was throwing interceptions. He did not look good. He was seeing ghosts. That's an actual direct Sam Darnold quote. I think that's back when he was on the Jets, though.
It was the Jets, yeah, on Monday night.
Right.
Yep.
But I don't know, man. The Rams defense has been terrible. I get that. But I kind of think they come together here. I don't know. I was kind of thinking about the over too, but McVay's got that playoff experience. He's been to 2 Super Bowls. He's won 1. Stafford's been to a Super Bowl. Darnold, I don't know if I buy Darnold, man. I'm smelling Rams money line. I think I'm going to pull the trigger. I haven't 100% yet, but I like the Rams here, man.
And that's something we've talked about a little bit on the show, and I'm sure at some point we'll explore it more in depth. But basically, when you're taking an underdog and the line is less than 3 points, it is the profitable move almost all the time to take the money line instead of the spread. So in other words, you could take the 2.5, lay 105, or you could take them straight up and get plus 130. So that's 35 cents of value that you're picking up there, and that's very hard to discard, to ignore. That's just a ton of value on that one. So, Mr. Delano, we haven't heard from you yet. By the way, you and I agree on the Patriots game. I think this Broncos offense has been underperforming all season long, and now they're putting their second string quarterback in there. I don't think they're going to have, if you excuse a slight pun, the horses to keep up with the Patriots here. So, Dave, let's see if you and I can agree on this one. How do you see this one going?
Yeah, so when first looking at it, I mean, the Rams have struggled against the Panthers. Looked like they were going to lose to the Bears, and we saw what Seattle did to the 49ers. It's like, how could you go against the Seattle team at home right now? The 2.5, these two teams played twice, decided by 3 points combined, a 2-point and a 1-point game. But me and Wes don't always look at games the same, the way that we break these down. But I really agree with everything that Wes said on this one. I mean, that first game, and Tom touched on it too. I mean, that was a 30-14 game. The Rams were rolling. Seattle got a punt return for a touchdown. Not only the 2-point conversion to win the game in overtime, Seattle went 3 for 3 on 2-point conversions, their last 3 touchdowns, including a punt return. And we're looking at Sam Darnold. I'm worried about him. He hasn't, not just in the last game, he didn't need to do too much, but last couple games, he didn't really set the world on fire. He threw 6 picks, 2 touchdowns and 6 picks in those combined in those 2 games. Against the Rams, Matthew Stafford, 5 touchdowns, no picks. Yeah, I know that Sam Darnold, they're talking about his oblique question. Well, obviously, we know he's going to play. But I like the Rams in this one. Money line, that 2.5. I'm seeing I see a plus 130 out there.
Right.
I think the Rams are going to be ready for this one. I like Los Angeles.
Okay. All right. Very good. Wiz, how you see it?
Well, this is my game that I'm going into the 2 teaser, the middling the teaser. And I love the way Seattle's playing. I mean, I like they had the 1 week rest. Their defense is great. I followed Sam Darnold, when he was with the Jets. I mean, he was pathetic. He's been, but he's become serviceable, manageable. I love their coach. I really, really, just like I love Ben Johnson, I love this coach. Home field, it's a very tough place. The Seattle's really tough to play at. I'll take the 3.5 on the teaser, the plus 3.5 on the teaser. That's my main, my main linchpin to the teaser. I like the 3.5 at home with this team.
So you don't worry about teasing through 0 or any of that stuff. If you find a game that you like, you're not afraid to make it go all the way to the other side.
What do you mean? Say that.
Well, there's supposedly the golden rule of teasing is you don't tease through 0. In other words, you don't take it from -3 to or +3 to -3 or whatever. But you don't care about that. That's
so
I'm
going to have Seattle plus 3.5.
Right.
If I can middle the first game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just the first game, then I'm alive to 3.5. To try to, if I middle, I'm going to win both if I cover the 3.5.
No, I got you there, but I'm talking about when you're taking it from -2.5, adding the 6 points to +3.5.
Right.
But the +3.5 is the number he wants. That's his.
That's
right.
That's I like the
number.
three. So it's the way I see the math. I'm not going to push on the 3. It's a 3.5.
Gotcha.
I think Seattle could stay within a field goal if they lose, right?
Okay.
So, but now I'm making a secondary bet. I have the teaser play, and that's for $1,000, say.
Okay.
I'm making a $500 play on Seattle laying the 2.5.
All right.
That now, like I can see, look, I've watched I think the Rams are a little bit on borrowed time. I mean, I think they played in Chicago. It was freezing. It was a tough environment and a hard game. It doesn't really matter. That doesn't matter to me that much because this is for all the marbles. These are professional athletes. They wipe it all. They play through injury. It doesn't matter. I just don't like the way the Rams defense has been playing.
Right.
They're leaky. They give up points. I'm going to root for Sam Darnold to have a serviceable game. I think he's done enough. Everybody thinks the same way. I think he's been okay. I mean, I think he's had games that were not,
I don't worry about Sam Darnold either. I think he's going to be fine. He'll have a fine game.
Charbonnet's not play. He's out. So that's
Correct.
A weapon. That's a weapon that, but they have a very good running back. It's okay. I mean, it's the home field and defense. And I think they're peaking at the right time. I think they're fresher. They're peaking. It's what happened in those other 2 games to me is irrelevant. It's what's going to happen Sunday. Who's peaking and who's fresh for this game at home in a very, very hostile environment.
Yeah, and to that point, you're looking at a Seattle team that's won 8 straight and gone 5-2-1 against the number over that stretch. And
they didn't have to do anything last week, really, and then they had to bye before that. So
they're fresh.
They should have. They should be rested well.
Their money's all in the middle of the table. For this game. And then they'll worry about the Super Bowl. I always thought before last week, Seattle was the best team. Like, if I had to make a Super Bowl pick, I picked Seattle. So I'm going to play him under the field goal. Now, if it goes to a 3, I wouldn't touch the bet.
Right.
No way. I'll stick with the teaser getting plus 3.5.
Yeah.
And that's a great point, and it speaks to the discipline that you need to be successful in this. If 2.5 is your ceiling, and that number goes to 3, don't tell yourself, "Well, I still like it. I'm going to play it at 3." No, just pass on the play. We've talked about it every week that we've done this show. Sometimes the best bets are the ones you do not make.
Look, I've bet since I was 2 years old, out of diapers, right? And I've bet a lot of money. And I'm very sensitive to the price, the line.
Right.
Okay. There's no way I touch this game at 3, but I like it at 2.5.
Very good.
And it's just a half a point. But I'll give you another example. Yesterday I liked Seton Hall against St. John's. And so it was 11.5, 107 where I play. I always buy the half a point and pay the juice to 117 because now it's 11 and a half and it's 12. I bought it to 12. So it takes a 13 to beat me. So I'll pay it, everything is to that game. Every move is a chess move to the line. How you're going to play the line. So I like the game at 2.5. I don't like it at 3.
Very
And it's
good.
a half a point we're talking about.
Sure.
But I like the teaser at plus 3.5.
Very
And
good.
I may never make this bet. I can be on your show 50 more times. And I may never, ever mention this bet again. Ever.
Right. Very good. That's and that speaks because I think a lot of people, and you said it right off the bat, is you don't necessarily play teams, you play numbers. And that's the way it works. And that's the hallmark of a successful sports bettor. You don't get hung up on the team. You look more for the number and you look for the juice and you try to find the value within that game. So,
everybody asks me, who's your favorite team in a sport? And I always say the team I have my money on today.
100%.
That's
100%.
it. I have no allegiance to anybody, except I do like the Steelers.
Okay.
but I bet against the Steelers.
Sure.
I mean, my Christmas tree has a Steelers skirt. My towels are terrible towels. The star on my tree is a Pittsburgh Steelers star. And I have Franco Harris's helmet. I have every bobblehead of every Pittsburgh Steeler, but I bet against them a lot.
There you go. Very good. Yeah. And we've talked about this a lot during the season. Born and raised in Kansas City, I have nothing against betting against the Chiefs. I'll
Right.
pull the trigger in a heartbeat. All right, very good. All right, so that covers the world of football. But Wiz, I know what really gets you excited, and that's those thoroughbreds running down the home stretch as you've got your winning ticket in hand. Tell us about the race you're looking at this weekend.
Well, this is the first big race of the year, and it's the Pegasus from Gulfstream Park. And this is a full field, so it's a very bettable race. It's 1.1 miles. There's no superstars in this race. So just like sports, horse racing is matchups. Okay? So the first thing, when I look at the form for these 12 horses, the first thing that comes to mind is that there's an abundance of early speed. What early speed means, if there's a lot of horses vying for the lead or contesting the pace, is it's going to be fast fractions. So when it's fast fractions, you're looking for a horse to sit a little bit off the pace or a closer. Okay? The front runners are compromised unless there's a horse that could clear to the lead and the other jockeys outside of that horse take back. Now, the favorite in the race is Disco Time, who breaks from the rail. He's an 8-5 favorite. The trainer is named Brad Cox. Brad Cox is like Bob Baffert's little brother. I mean, he's that good, right? He's like on the brink of becoming the Bob Baffert when Bob Baffert ever retires. This guy, he trains for Godolphin and Juddmonte. Huge breed, huge. He's a top 2 or 3 trainer with Chad Brown and Todd Pletcher and Bob Baffert.
Okay.
He has 2 in the field: Disco Time breaking from the rail, and Tappan Street, who's 6-1, breaking from post 7. Now, Disco Time is undefeated, 5 for 5. He's going to be over bet because he's 5 for 5 and he has improving numbers, speed figures. They're called the buyer speed figures.
Right.
I'm not a big figure guy. I'm more visual. Just like when I watch sports, I'm not a numbers guy. I'm a visual guy. The advantage Disco Time has, and the only real advantage, is that he breaks from the rail and he has speed. So depending on the break, he has the best rider in the world on him for the first time. The best rider in the world is Flavien Prat. Brad Cox is wasting no time. He's putting on the best. That's a big advantage. Big move up on riders.
And
So
what
he breaks.
What pole position? What post position did he draw? Is he on the
One.
rail? Is he in the one spot?
He's on the
Okay.
one. So because he's in the one, the break will determine where he's going to be in the race. My opinion is he breaks sharp, and Pratt, either he looks to his right to see if the other speed is going, and if they are hard sent, he takes back. Now, Disco Time has won from stalking in second or third. I think he sits that trip in the first turn. It's 1.1 miles, around 2 turns. Disco Time must be respected because of its connections. Now, because there's going to be a lot of speed, I'm tossing speed out. I'm tossing Baffert's horse out, Madigat Road. I'm tossing Micah out, who is in very sharp form. And so I'm taking the speed, the main speeds. I think those are going to go and toss him out. Disco Time is going to sit. It's Brad Cox. It's Flavian Pratt. He's a worthy favorite, but he's vulnerable because he's going to get overbet. It's all about value.
Right.
Right. And how you construct your wager. So the other horse that is the contender, in my opinion, at a bigger price is Brad Cox's other horse, Tappan Street. The figures are much lighter, but he's already beaten Sovereignty last year in the Florida Derby. Sovereignty was the Eclipse Award winner. He won the Travers. He won the Kentucky Derby, right? Sovereignty's the best, and he's training. He's going to run this year. He's the best horse in the land on the dirt. Tappan Street in the Florida Derby last year beat him. It was somewhat of a prep for Sovereignty. He wasn't all out because the Derby was his next race, the calling card.
Right.
But Tappan Street had a prep race at Gulfstream Park, and all 3 of his wins have been at Gulfstream Park. So he doesn't have the figures, but that's why he's going to be a price. So to me, those 2 horses are the linchpins to the play, okay? But now I'm looking for some price horses, big bombs, okay? Now, a horse that's going to get play, second choice at 4-1, I'm taking a stand against him, and that's White Abarrio. White Abarrio is a freak on Gulfstream Park. 10 starts, all 10, he has 10 wins. Actually, his 10 starts, 8 of his 10 wins at Gulfstream. He's won major races. He's won the Pegasus Invitational last year by 6 lengths with a huge number. He's going to get heavily bet. I'm tossing him. The reason is on Breeders' Cup Day, he was one of the favorites in the Breeders'. He was maybe 6, 7, 8-1. When they came on the track, he was a vet scratch. He was a lame-o. Dead piece, scratched. I don't like the way he's training into this race. Now, horses for courses, I could be wrong, but you got to take a stand against, you have to take stands.
Right.
So I'm tossing him. So the horses that I'm going to use are bombs, big bombs, 20-1, 30-1, right? With the 2 favorites in an exacta. I'm not putting the 2 favorites together, I'm not putting the 2 Cox horses together.
Right.
I'm looking to get one of my bombs to either win the race or run second with the 2 horses I like that are going to get bet. So, for instance, I'll take Disco Time and Tappan Street equal. One is 8-5, one is 6-1. Disco Time is going to get overbet because now he's facing some stellar competition that he's never faced, going a distance that he's never run at. But I respect him. So I take Disco Time and Tappan Street, and I flip-flop them back and forth, trying to get Banishing, and Poster is my other horse. So if one of the 2 Cox horses run first or second, if they win and I get the second horse with one of my bombs, it's a big payoff.
Right.
If the 2 bombs, Banishing and Poster, win, and one of those, either Disco Time or Poster, win the race, Banishing or Poster win the race, it's boxcars. Then I'm going to make a small saver boxing and the exacta, the two bombs. Because if the two bombs, if I'm right, 1 out of 20 times, this 25 times, I'll be right on something like this.
Right.
But the risk reward is huge.
Right.
It'll be an $800 exacta for a deuce. For a deuce. So, and then I'll play some trifectas. But the key is I'm mixing in the main horses I like with the two bombs I like. So it's all strategic. It's the matchup. Every race is a different crossword puzzle, just like a sports event is. And to really be a great sports handicapper, especially in basketball and college basketball, you have to understand the matchup, where the weaknesses are, where a really good team like St. John's yesterday was at a disadvantage because Seton Hall loves to bang the boards and get and beat you physically. They're a physical team. St. John's hasn't been playing a physical team like so it's a matchup. It's all matchups. Here there's a lot of speed. So the two bombs that I'm picking to get in the gimmick are closers, horses off the pace that are going to be benefiting by the way the race setup is.
Okay, very good. All right, so I got a couple questions. First of all, how old are these horses? Is there an age restriction? Is this a Derby prep race? What are we looking at here?
So it's an invitational. You're invited to this race. It's a great one. It's the best older horses in the country, 4 years old and up. If you're 3, you can't run in this race. Okay. It's all male horses, colts and geldings. It's the best horses around in January. It's the opening curtain. It's the curtain to the year. The Pegasus. It's how much? $3 million is the purse.
Jeez.
That's not chump change.
That is not chump change at all.
But this is not a stellar field. This is one of the weaker Pegasus I've seen. And I think they've run this race 5 or 6 years. It's not a real. This is a race that's juicy for a bomb. Now a win bet. I will not take Disco Time. I will not take Tappan Street, the two Cox horses. One's going to be 8-5. One's going to be 6-1. I don't want that. I want the 30-1. So if they're both 30-1, I'll bet them both equal to win.
Okay.
I'll bet both. If one is, the bigger the price of those two horses, the more I'm going to bet on it. So it's risk reward. That's right. That's horse racing. That's how you make money. You're going to lose a lot, but when you win, it's sweet.
Yep. Very good. And correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't Tappan Street have a good lineage? Was it Tappan? Was that his father?
That's fantastic. You knew that. I'm impressed.
I don't know why that rang a bell, but yeah.
It's the best sire in the world, or at least in the United States, Into Mischief. If you want to breed into Mischief, if you have a filly, I own a filly. If I win a filly that's running in New York, a really good filly, if I want to breed to Into Mischief, I have to take her to Into Mischief, breed, and pay $250,000 for his sperm. And you only pay if it's a live foal, if the horse is born. You don't pay if it's not born. Right. So you pay after the 9 months, however it is long before the baby's born.
Right.
Tappan Street is by the best sire to me, one of the top 2 or 3 in the universe ever, almost ever.
Right.
$250K to breed to that horse. So you're right. It's very well bred.
Wow.
Very well bred. Now, Disco Time is by another great sire that also stands for $250K, but is known in the racing industry, and that's Not This Time is the sire. So these are really tough. I mean, some of these horses are really sired, but have great sires. But to your point, Tappan Street is very well bred. One is Disco Time is Juddmonte. Tappan Street is Windstar. High profile breeders and owners, the top of the line. So like I do all 13. This is the last race on the card. It's a 13 race program. I sell my selections at the Daily Racing Form. So I do every race. I give you the bets for every race. I give you the comment. It takes me 10 hours to do it.
Right.
And, I have a guy at Gulfstream that, helps me because he's there at the track. It's a very, think about it. It takes me 8 hours to do 13 races, and I have 3 products, 35 or 35, where you get everything for 50. That's the highest price product ever. Like, I'm the highest price product. But if you think about it, you're getting all the races, right, for the whole day for a price of a hot dog and a beer, right? Yeah. So I do the work. It takes a lot of time, and it's entertainment for people. And I give them the information they need to hold their own during the day.
That's fantastic. And if people wanted to get that card from you, where would they get that? Would they get that?
DRF.com, the Daily Racing Form. You go to Daily Racing Form, there's a tab, The Wizard. It'll be promoted all over. These big races is my, annuity. I've been doing this 45 years professionally. 45.
Wiz, I got just one more question. When you talked about early speed, what's the breakdown on that? Is it anything under 22? What are we looking at there for the first quarter?
You got sprints and routes. Okay, sprints are like 5 furlongs, 6 furlongs, 7 furlongs. Route races, the distance races start at a mile. So they can be a mile. This is a mile and 1/8, mile and 1/4.
Right.
The Derby's a mile and 1/4. So speed and the fractions are all dependent on the distance of the race. If 6 furlongs, if you go 22-2, 45-3, that's an honest, solid, good pace. Right. If you go 22-1, 45-2 in this race, you're finishing up the track. You have to ration out your speed. It's like a sprinter think of the Olympics. You got your sprinters and you got your distance runners, the milers, right?
Like the difference between running a 100 and a 400, basically.
Yeah. If you're going to run the longer race, you're not balls out at the beginning, right? You're not. You have to ration your speed, right? The same fraction for the first quarter of your race is going to be faster in the sprint, the shorter race in a Olympic race, right? Than going a mile. So fractions are dependent on the distance of the race, the track surface. Sometimes the track surface is very fast. Here at Aqueduct in the winter, it's cuppy, it's deeper, it's a winter track. So you won't have the same fast times, but in essence, a horse that runs 23 and change at Aqueduct in the winter is actually running as fast as a horse running at Saratoga in the summer in 22-2.
Gotcha.
So I have to analyze the surface create my own pace numbers. Like you create your power figures, right? Mm-hmm. When you do sports, some people do power numbers. I have to do my own numbers for horse racing.
Gotcha. All right, very good. I know these guys probably have questions. I've been pretty much dominating your time, guys. What questions do you have for the Wiz about the Pegasus this weekend,
or anything to do about racing?
So what were we'll just do a breakdown or a recap. So what were the exact? You said there were 2 exactas you were doing.
Well, I'm not going to give out the exact. Like, you got to buy my sheet. Right. But I'm going to give you a strategy.
Gotcha.
I want the 2 bombs, Banishing and Poster, to be first or second with Disco Time and Tappan Street. So it would be like if Disco Time is 1, Banishing is number 4, Tappan Street is 7, Poster's 8. So I would take 1 and 7, which are the 2 favorites, over the Banishing and the other one, and then reverse it. And then go for the jugular and box the 2 bombs. That's one play I would make. Then I'd make a win bet, 2 win bets. That's like playing the teaser that I gave out. There's situations that if you're getting 25, 30-1, bet them both. Bet them both, small. Now, if a horse is 40-1, I'll bet a little more. I like the bigger the odds, the more money I bet. Because you go for it's a risk reward.
Interesting. All right.
And this is a goal. Right. This is that Gulfstream you said, right, in Florida?
It's at Gulfstream
Yeah.
on Saturday. The race goes off at 5:39 Eastern time. I know it's on national TV. I mean, I think it's either NBC, it's Fox Sports. It's a big deal. It's a big, that card, the whole card is like a mini Kentucky Derby card. It's like the first,
Nice.
they save all the best races for this and Florida Derby Day, which is a prep Florida Derby
Nice.
for the Kentucky Derby.
Okay.
Racing is an interesting race, a sport to bet. It's just the younger people. It's hard to get the young people into this, and you're competing against sports that is instant gratification. This is 30 minutes before post between races. It's slow. It's an old man's game, but it's a good game. It's a really good game to bet.
Okay. Very good. Anybody
When
else?
when you were mentioning earlier about like how the horse was bred and how it had a really good like bloodline, is that something that you just kind of know? I mean, you've been doing this for so long that you're just so ingrained in it, or is there a way somebody can really research that stuff? I'm wondering for somebody who's trying to get into horse betting, or is there like a place for like how do people come across that type of information?
Well, the Racing Form gives you an option in their product called Formulator, which is the greatest product, and it's a tremendous product. And you can click on the dam and see the offspring, see who the dam produced. I go further. I have a program that tells me not only who it produces, but by generation.
Wow.
So, like David Delano's mother, the mother. Now I'm going to go to David Delano's grandmother. Now I'm going to go to the great grandmother. I want to see all the babies produced, all the little David Delanos running around in the world, right? And then there's the snipers, and then there's the Scott Steens,
Right.
So I want to see like I own a horse named Walk With Me, and the sire is really good. It's Central Banker. But when I bought the horse for $100K, I loved the dam line. I loved who the dam won a lot of money. It's the first foal, but if you go to the second dam, the grandmother, it produced like 4 really, really good horses that got really good when they got older. So, and I have another horse named Pop Goes the Whiz, right? That has a pedigree that is not going to win first time out. It needs a few races. It wants to go long, but I'm going to develop it because its pedigree is more. You need time. You need distance. So instead of like starting the horse at a mile, I'll start at a shorter distance. No, I'm not going to win the race, but it's a marathon, not a sprint with anything, right? It's patience. And when you know the pedigree, you work with the pedigree. And it helps you. So I do go further. Anybody can get Formulator on the DRF and get a lot of information. I just take it about 10 steps more. For horses, first time starters, I dig and dig and dig. And sometimes I'll make a first time starter at Saratoga best bet that never ran because I saw something in the pedigree that I liked.
Okay. Very good.
Okay.
Tom, you got anything?
No, but you can't do that in NASCAR. I mean, there's similar betting styles. But yeah, I like your aggressiveness with how you do it though with the horses.
You got to be in attack mode. You have to be on the attack. You have to look. I don't bet a lot of races for serious money. I love to bet, so I'll bet like $50. If I give out a bet, I'll bet it. That doesn't mean I'm going to bet 500 on it. But when I love something, I'm all in with my chips. I'll take a shot. I'll take a shot and I'll go. I've had some great scores, and they don't come often. Believe me, I donate a lot of money to the betting operations all the time. But, I try to win, I can't even give you like if sports, I try to win about 60% of my sports bets. But all of you could do that if you just did bet, your main plays. Like if you,
Yeah.
were very selective in your betting. It's not, most handicappers, if they hit 52% and cover the juice, they've done okay when you give out a lot of games, you bet a lot of games. But if you were more selective, you would win a higher percentage of games.
Yeah.
If you weren't forced, I don't have to play today, I'm only going
Right.
to play one game, right? Your percentage would be higher. You'd feel it. That's how I bet sports. I don't have to put up games. I bet when I feel it. Horse racing too. I'll only bet big money when I get a nice price. The bigger the price on an opinion, the more I'm coming in.
Quality over quantity, basically.
Exactly. I really believe that.
Okay.
I believe that in all aspects of life and in buying things. You're sports handicappers. You have to everybody puts up games, 3 or 4 games, and you have an opinion on the game or you wouldn't put it up. But when maybe you give 4 games, you bet 50 on 3 of them, and one of the games you bet 300, right? I mean, you have an opinion. You're not going to put up a game without an opinion, but sometimes when you feel it.
Right.
When the game is just there for you to the taking. It happens if you let it come to you. It's psychological.
So you'd rather have like one $300 bottle of a nice Shiraz versus 100 bottles of Boone's Farm, basically.
No, I'll take the $100 100 bottles of because I'll get drunk more.
Okay, all right.
I'm taking
right. Maybe a bad example.
No,
Right,
I don't want. No, I don't pay nothing more than $15 for a bottle of wine. And I want
you know what?
bottles.
I'm the same way. I don't have the nose. I don't have the palate. My son's a wine guy. I am not. So
when it comes to good liquor,
Boone's Farm.
When it comes to good liquor, it's either bourbon, tequila, or vodka. I'm not going to the cheap shit. But wine, I don't really know the difference between a $200 bottle. Especially, I never understand when wine people go to a vineyard and they swish it in their mouth and spit it out.
Yeah, what are we doing?
I don't understand that. Just drink it.
Like Bill Clinton and weed, where he smoked but he didn't inhale. It's the same thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, I always piss them off when I go to the restaurant when they get a bottle of wine because I always ask for ice, and that just right away
that's so Scott, that's when you can order your $2 bottle of Boone's Farm.
That's right. That's absolutely right. All right. Anybody got anything else for the whiz on the Pegasus? All right. Very good. Man, this has been, I think, a very, very educational session for not just us, but I think for anybody that watches this and wants to dive a little bit deeper into horse racing. Maybe you're just one of those guys that watches the Triple Crown races, the Derby, the Belmont, the Preakness. But there's money to be made every weekend in horse racing. Absolutely correct. So,
and also, I just want to say, I love my website, our website. It's going to take time to get it going off the ground. It's a tough business, but I got a lot of all you guys are great. I mean, and I appreciate it because it's this is a slow build. I love the site. The site is tremendous. The back end and the front end. Everybody that's working is working so hard for little money, for hardly anything. We're building, it takes time. But I appreciate your efforts, and you're all pros. And because I've gotten to know a lot of you, and I really respect your work. I really do. I think you're top of the line, not only as handicappers, but as people. And I don't deal with bullshit. I don't deal with, smoke and mirrors. I deal with reality, real people. And I really respect what you do.
we appreciate that. I think I speak for all of us and say that we really love the opportunity, and we really enjoy working for you. Somebody that gets it, somebody that understands it is a long game, and you have brought on a team, not just the people on this video, but you have brought in a team of fantastic handicappers, some of the best known handicappers in the world. So that leads me into a natural plug. Make sure you get over to wizardsportspicks.com. Check out all the great deals that we've got. Horse racing, football, we talked about them before, college basketball, NBA, NHL. Tom does NASCAR. That's going to be starting up in February. Of course, the Soccer World Cup is coming this summer, so it's going to be a great time over there at wizardsportspicks.com. Make sure you get over there. And if nothing else, just check out all the free plays. There's a good amount of free plays that are posted daily. Check those out as well. See what these guys can do for you and help you boost that bankroll. All right. Wiz, any final words before we get out of here?
No, I enjoyed being on. I hope I added something on the sports segment with that stupid teaser bet.
Absolutely.
that rare teaser bet,
That is something that I promise you no one else was going to do. So that you
but I did it.
It's a great example of thinking outside the box. Absolutely.
What's
that?
I tailed. Let's catch some tickets.
Oh, I'm tailing it too, baby. I'm tailing it too. You better believe it.
Hey, look, you got to be creative. You got, it's, I mean, look, you guys like the Rams, right? So you could get 2.5, you get 8.5.
I'm
right?
with you. I'm with you on Seattle. I'm the lone-ish wolf here between the three of us, the four of us. I'm with you on Seattle. I think they're the vastly superior team, and I don't think the Rams will look good in the playoffs either game. So, but
let's both cash.
Let's do it.
Let's play the teaser. Throw $50 on that teaser.
Doing it, locking it up. And that's the great part before we get out of here. That's the great part about betting football versus the horse races, because the horse racing is a pari-mutuel pool, which means whatever price it goes off at, that's what you get. It's not the price you booked it at. It's the price that it goes off, as opposed to football, basketball, whatever your price you locked in. And then if you lock it in on Tuesday, the quarterback gets hurt on a Wednesday in practice, doesn't matter. You've got the good number right there.
And there's one other difference.
Sure.
In horse racing, your death is 1.5 minutes. In sports, you dive several times in a 2.5-hour game.
Very good.
Right?
Very good.
So it's a slower death in sports.
Very nice.
You end it after 1.5 minutes, it's over. You rip your tickets off. How many games have we seen, especially in the playoffs, where you're dying? Anything happens in the last minute, right?
Absolutely. Well, now the one exception would be if you had the Niners against Seattle and you watched them return the opening kickoff for a touchdown. You realize you were maybe not dead, but you were severely wounded there in the first 20
It's
seconds.
rare that you could shut
Absolutely.
the TV off and you're going to win after the first half.
Absolutely. All right, guys. As always, it's been a blast. It's been a special fun for me having the Wizard here to talk to everybody. And it's great that we get to see you, because you see a name like Wizard Sports Picks, like, oh, who's the Wizard? There is the Wizard. He's right there. We pulled back the curtain. You've seen him. Hopefully, we'll have him on a lot more.
The beauty about it is that I don't really think about me owning this. Like, I think it's everybody's. So I'm like sharing, being part of all of you guys. I don't think any of these companies, the owner is going to sit down here and tell you about a teaser, that stupid teaser they make.
Absolutely not.
Or, I mean, so it's like a community that I'm trying to build of friendship, and you're all smart, and I know we're all going to make this work. We're going to figure it out. Nothing's impossible, and we're going to figure this out. And when we do, we're going to do very, very well.
Very good. I can't come up with a better closer than that. So you guys, thanks very much for joining us. Special thanks to the Wizard. Thanks to Wes, Tom, David. You can find us all on social media. You can find me at Steamroller, the Sniper Picks for Wes, Rye Cape for Tom, and Get Sports Strong for David Delano. Wizard, you got a social media presence you want to pump?
Nah, I don't bother.
Okay, very good. Very good. All right, guys.
Looking for teasers. That's it.
Hey, come back and see us next week. Don't forget to check out wizardsportspicks.com. We do this every week. We always have a blast, and we always give out fun, great information. So come back and see us next week. But until then, I'm Scott the Steamroller Steen. Good luck on all your plays this weekend. You guys take care, and we'll see you next time.